Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Bork. In today's video, we'll be covering auto clan battles for CB7 or the August clan battle. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. And I want to send a huge thank you to the folks at the We Auto CB group. And of course, thank you to Timeaus and his team for essentially compiling the spreadsheets right here. This is absolutely amazing. So essentially it's taking all of the Billy teams that were previously used and placing it on a spreadsheet. And this is essentially what a lot of like the clans were doing. They would take the info from CN and translate it over into global and configure the teams a little so that you could essentially run something really nice for yourself. So this is going to be the first team. We're just going to go ahead and locate Kokoro. So as you can see, this is going to be an orc team. You'll see like this Hori team pretty much be used on every single boss. So kind of amazing, but let's go ahead and run this team in particular and watch how much damage it does. Now, I know a lot of folks didn't work on Hori the previous times orcs was here. So I'm assuming by the time that orc is here now, folks have gotten their Horis to 5-star. At least a 4-star. 5-star Hori is obviously going to be better, mostly because she's going to be sitting in the front. Essentially, any units that sit on the front and take heap loads of damage and they're not really like tanking or anything, they're going to require like more stars. That way they can stay alive. Obviously, tanks, they're going to have more stars, but you don't really need to run them. But we usually don't have issues on lap 1. Like this is the easy mode, and I think the expected damage for this was around 1.3 mil. But just note, we're probably going to be scoring like 1.2 because my team isn't perfect, and not to mention the CN teams are going off of like unique equipment and other factors. Like there should be more damage pretty much available if you're running a CN team, but we're not running CN teams, we're running global teams. And what's really nice about this whole thing is that this CB in particular is going to be insanely competitive for top 50. Everyone who can have access to the sheets, so anyone who watches, whether it's my video, Lace's video, and Tim's video, because we are all like essentially releasing this sheet to the masses, I just wanted to do my part and share it to the community as well. I'm sure you might have seen it already, but if you haven't, like, I'm so happy to actually share this because this is gonna help like a lot of people and gonna make clan battle very different from like the previous one, because like we said earlier, this clan battle is also gonna be available on the weekend. So now that we have this sheet, you can see we have 1.3 million damage. I think we actually managed to score the appropriate damage. This has to be one of the first times I actually scored 1.3 million with this team against this boss, because sometimes the damage can be a little bit finicky. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the horse boss right here, or the unicorn, and we're gonna be actually running the Tomo teams. Now, you can run this team if you don't have the, can essentially run Summer Tamaki. I'm looking at this team in particular. I'm gonna configure it a little because I know some people might not have Summer Tamaki. So we're gonna go ahead and put normal Tamaki, and then we'll put Hori, just so like we can see if it sort of works. Now, I've ran this with Summer Tamaki and she does phenomenally. We'll do like 1.2 to 1.3 million damage. But I want to see how it goes with normal Tamaki, because I don't think a lot of people pulled for Summer Tamaki, because Summer Tamaki is very niche. She's really only used for clan battle, and you most likely won't have like Tamaki or Summer Tamaki. So go ahead and run this team and see how we're doing. Right now we are at 400k, roughly going to 500k now, and I don't see too many issues with this team. I don't know if we're going to be hitting 1.1 mil. I think that's the goal with this team. I believe like a 200k damage difference when running normal Tamaki versus Summer Tamaki is to be expected, because just note, normal Tamaki does not increase her own attack speed, so she's not going to be dealing as many attacks, so to speak. Now just note, attack speed buffs, they don't really affect like how fast you cast or the intervals between like skills. Only thing attack speed actually does is like quicken up the animations just by like a really small amount. Attack speed is like a really like compounding effect over time, but as you can see here, we're dealing definitely 1.1 million damage. We might even be able to touch 1.2 with this team, so I don't think that's really too bad. Granted, we did have like crits and stuff in there, and we did miss like a carry hit, so we could have dealt phenomenally more damage. But you can see here, like the only difference was like 100k. Yes, some crits, but it's not too bad if you're going to be running like another team and you don't have like Summer Tamaki. And lastly, let's go ahead and run the gluttonous boss, or pretty much this big papa over here. Now, when it comes to glutton, he's very interesting because you can run like multiple teams. Like you can run the Hori team that we covered earlier. Let's go ahead and run the double archer comp that you guys can see right here, but we're actually going to be running it with Arisa, just so you guys can see it. So we're going to use this party, and let's go ahead and use Saren, because that's the team that you're supposed to be sort of having. And I know I'm using Arisa. I'm just kind of curious if we can hit like 1.3 million or or 1.2 million. I want us to be able to play with the teams a little because usually there's a lot of room for error on lap 1, and then come lap 2, obviously things change dramatically. But let's go ahead and talk about the lap 2 teams afterwards and see how this one goes. So as you can see here, Arisa is doing some decent damage. Just note that she is going to be ranked 10 plus, so she has like 10-5 gear, I believe. And then my Susanna, everyone is essentially 9-6, including Makoto, even though she's supposed to be at 9-5. So that's no worries at all. But what's really interesting to me is that Ayane is supposed to be run against this boss. But just note that you don't really have to run Ayane until the second lap, because the first lap he's not going to be dealing too much damage and you don't really have to cancel anything. So the more damage he deals to you, like the faster you can cast your Union Burst. For lap 1 specifically, it's absolutely fine. But once we go into lap 2, you're going to have to go into more of a defensive phase, because he will probably be killing like your Makotos and Kaoris in the front if you plan to run those teams, or possibly if you run the Ilya teams, things will drastically change with that effect as well. So right here, doing 20k damage, not so bad whatsoever. So we managed to deal almost 1 mil of damage. So obviously Arisa was not the play for me, so don't run her. We're gonna run this team again with the proper comp, with Susanna actually. It might have something to do with the fact that my Arisa isn't properly geared, like she doesn't have everything on her kit. So let's go ahead and take this off. So let's go ahead and run this team and see how it goes. So you can see here, that's the team that we're running, this one in particular. But I'm curious, I want to do like the 1.3 million damage that was stated. If Arisa, my Arisa in particular, she is 3-star, she's not 4-star, so I'm missing damage on that front as well. The difference between 3-star and 4-star, if you guys are wondering, is not that huge. The difference between like 3-star and 5-star, or 4-star to 5-star, that's probably one of the biggest changes in the game. And if anything, like don't worry about any of your units going to 3-star. 3-star is like the safest bet, in case like folks are new and kind of curious on like how this like starring system sort of works. So I like his attacks, they have pretty cool animations. It's like he's throwing like meteors at you, and wow. So you're definitely dealing way more damage. We're at almost 900k right here at the 30-second mark. So we're definitely going to be hitting 1.3 mil absolutely easily. Got 20 seconds left. Granted, like Makoto's timing is absolutely phenomenal for this, and she is 9-6 like we talked about earlier. So that's probably a huge reason as to why this auto team is just so much better, because they're triggering their UBs right after Makoto does her UB. Hopefully Arisa can take some damage right here, almost at the 1.4 mil mark. Did we manage to hit it? Just barely. All right, we managed to hit the 1.4 mil, and that was the expected damage for lap 1. Now we can't use like the lap 2 team, which is going to, or the enraged mode team, which is going to be Ilya. We can use it, like, but it doesn't really make sense. But let's go ahead and jump into auto lap 2 and show like how drastically things change. So before you could run like the Kokoro teams, obviously I feel like this is going to run some manual play. Now you're going to be running the Summer Kokoro, because you're going to be needing to heal your Kaoris in the front if you plan to run this team against Wyvern. And then when it comes to Rai Rai, it looks like the Ilya teams are going to be taking the foremost. And as we talked about earlier, Orc June is pretty much a priority here, and I hope everyone has June thanks to the event that we currently have. And then there's going to be the Unicorn boss. Yeah, Summer Tamaki is going to be present, but like we showed earlier, you should be able to use normal Tamaki in case y'all are curious. And then here is going to be the Ayane teams that is going to show dominance for lap 2. And just note that you can click these videos in case you guys want to see like timelines or see how the person performed. But honestly, this should be like all auto teams. In case you want to obviously min-max it, then you can like, you know, do like the timelines and get all the stuff pretty much actually organized. I just want to send a huge thank you to the We Auto CB group and Timeaus again. This is absolutely amazing that they were able to compile this. Not to mention VX Pound 0726, absolutely amazing for making this We Auto CB plan sheet. But that is going to be it for today's video. This is going to be a fantastic clan battle. I can't wait to see how the top 10 is going to be looking. It's going to be absolutely insane. But anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once we hit 27,500 subs, we'll be doing a giveaway. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day, and hopefully I see you in the next one.